talking about injustice earlier, and one of my big injustices, or I think a social injustice, is to do with the education system. Because whenever I work with anybody, whether it's an adult or a youngster, there seems to be an issue with either a relationship or their finances or their health. So whether it be mental health or physical health. And yet when you look at what's taught in schools, when I look at what I was taught in schools, and when I look at what my children are taught in schools, I don't think any time is given to those things at all. And yet they cause all the biggest challenges with people around the world, not just in this country. So I can't quite get my head around that, how you can have an education system that doesn't teach you anything about life. So when you're teaching maths, none of it's to do with money. So and when you're teaching, about, well, anything, it's just, as we were saying earlier, it's more a big memory test. If you've got a good memory, you'll get good grades. If you haven't got a good memory, you're going to feel pretty shit most of the time at school. To me, it's just crazy, because is it really getting you ready for work? Is it really getting you ready for a life of happiness? And so it can't be, because whenever I work with people who are older, they've still got these problems. So what you've got as well, then you've got a compounded thing where at school, I mean, in life you have task-orientated people and you have people-orientated people. Sometimes people are lucky enough to have a real good combination of those things. I'm more people-orientated, so you can usually tell if you're task-orientated, you're going to be a perfectionist. I find if you're people-orientated, you're going to be a procrastinator. So that's going to be your sticking points, if you like. So to become a teacher, you need to have a certain amount of task orientation to pass all the steps you need to pass to become a teacher. So when I talk to teachers, lots of them say, I certainly had teachers that said, you're not here to have fun, So they've just alienated 75% of the class whose primary driver in life is to have fun. So if a teacher makes things fun, you learn. You almost learn under the radar because you're having fun, so you learn. We've been together this weekend. We've learnt a lot and we've had a lot of fun. If it would have been boring, probably I would say most of us probably wouldn't have come back today, or we would have certainly unplugged. Or guess what? We'd be looking out the window, daydreaming about something better, or something more interesting. The thing is that if a kid's not doing well in a class and they're daydreaming, well, that's going to set off the teacher's script, because the teacher then thinks that they're not doing a very good job. So then what do? They blame the child, but yet the child has got a different set of wiring inside their head. So, and it's not their fault. So the whole sort of system is skewed, because the people who are going to become teachers are very task-orientated, and the pupils that are going to give them the biggest problems are the people-orientated kids who want to talk, want to have fun, want to go out to play, want to have lunchtime, and that sort of thing. So my desire, I suppose, and it's a bit of a big nut to crack, but is one to get kids to understand and get teachers to understand, what some of these drivers are and how to make, lessons fun, and how important it is to have those aspects of building a relationship and having a relationship. Well, of course, it's a relationship with yourself. We talk about the script and the voice inside your head. Well, that's a relationship with yourself. That's how you're going to have a better relationship with somebody else. So that needs to be taught in schools, and it will do one day, and we're all part of that. And I know that I've started talking about that more and more and more. It's a bigger part of everything I do whenever I'm in a school. I always start every conversation off with any child I'm working with about the script, because I know part of what might happen with them is they're going to think, oh, this isn't working, or oh, well, it's all right for them, or whatever. And so the script's going to get them, so they don't turn up to the next session. It's just that frustration, I suppose, that if people can understand that what's driving them, and how we can make people's lives easier by putting, it's not just a PSHE sort of thing in schools, it's actually getting it into schools and getting it into the mainstream and into the curriculum. And I believe that it can be done, and it will be done, and I'm going to be part of that. I thank you. Yeah.